Thank you for staying here on Joy News Desk with me, Benis Abubeidu. Making Ghanaian Girls Great, MG Cubed, is Ghana's first interactive distance learning project introduced by the Varkey Foundation. MG Cubed uses computers, satellites and projectors in broadcasting live lessons to school children in about 72 deprived communities. Well, as part of her itinerary today, Princess Anne will be engaged in a live interactive session with some of the school children who are beneficiaries of the program, which is funded by the UK. Ahead of that interactive session, Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba puts the spotlight on the project Making Ghanaian Girls Great.
It is morning assembly here at the Mataiko DA Basic School. It is one of the underprivileged beneficiary schools of the Varkey Foundation program MG Cubed. They may be missing out on some necessary facilities. What they do not skip, though, are the Lord's Prayer and the National Pledge. They go through the daily ritual this morning. Soon, they'll leave for their classroom singing Arise Ghana Youth. The nostalgia created by this atmosphere moved me to try my hands on the drums in the school. Amongst these students is 11-year-old Rosemary, who is determined to become a nurse. Rosemary is one of the beneficiaries of the interactive distance learning platform. She says MG Cubed creates healthy competition among beneficial institutions as they try to outpace one another whom they see on their projectors during question times. Rosemary tells me they are able to grasp what their virtual instructor says because sometimes they are taught in the local language.
MGQ means Making Ghanaian Girls Great. In MGQ, we use videos and pictures. Our facilitator guides and helps us in our classrooms. Sometimes they speak different languages when they teach. Sometimes we can raise our hands to answer questions for the other schools to listen to us.
So when you answer the questions, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel happy.
Would you say that you are performing better in English and then in mathematics because of MG Cubed?
Yes, I'm doing better in mathematics and English.
Each MG Cubed classroom is equipped with technology which includes a computer, projector, satellite, modem and solar panels to provide constant power. Varkey Foundation's MG Cubed studio uses the interactive distance learning program to deliver both formal and informal after-school training sessions called the Wonder Woman and the Boys Club.
So let's look at our question on the board. 8 plus 8. What is that going to give us? Yes.
Felicia Amwa is a teacher at the MG Cubed studio at Cantonment. From this studio, she's able to deliver lessons in English and maths to children living in Nkwanta South, Kajebi in the Volta region, Adan East, Adan West, Ningo Prampram, and Shai Osudoku in the Greater Accra region.
To reach to children far away. You reach to children in the Volta region, in Nkwanta South, and the KJB. And the joy of reaching out to them and teaching them just makes me happy because I've not been there personally before.
We have the presenter PC, we have the scribbler, and we have the client PC.
Francisca Ashiti, a studio technician at the Varkey Foundation, has learned to control the technology here to provide the needed support.
Like in the schools, we have the projector that projects what is being taught in here the studio, because they see it like this. With the client we see here, this is how the schools sees everything.
As widespread as it could be. So those are the challenges we're trying to address.
The Varkey Foundation is set to replicate this program at a refugee camp in the Western region. Leonora Dowley is country director of the foundation.
We're really excited because we're just about to start broadcasting to a refugee camp in the Western region in Ghana.
Wow, interesting. So, is it just in Ghana, or you have other branches in other countries as well?
The Varkey Foundation has a global presence, so we're running projects at the moment in Argentina and in Uganda as well.
Varkey strictly enforces a no caning policy. This is part of a strategy not only to reduce timidity generally, but to ensure that students in the 72 beneficiary schools contribute in lessons without fear of making a mistake.
They particularly like the fact they don't get caned in our lessons because we have a no corporal punishment policy, and that our teachers take time to do student-centered, activity-based lessons with them and take time to go back and explain things rather than moving on quickly if they haven't understood.
Just on the lighter side, so you don't cane those kids?
Absolutely not.
You have a no caning policy?
We do.
Thank you. How are you?
We are blessed and highly favored.
Very good. Sit down.
Back at the Mataeko DA Primary School, the headmaster James Kojo Adama took me to one of the classrooms. Mr. Adama tells me the academic performance of the students has improved tremendously.
I can see that there has been a very great improvement in terms of how they spell words, and even their grammar has even improved. Yeah, because you see how the studio teacher teaches them, the person takes the time and explains things to them, so they get deeper understanding, and I can see that it is reflecting in their exam.
A teacher at the school, Anga Dora, says the e-learning platform brings some excitement to the act of teaching and learning.
Have the use of a microphone, so you have the opportunity of answering questions for other schools to also listen to you. So you realize that everybody wants to say something through the microphones for the other friends to listen to them. So it encourages performance. Everybody wants to say something through the microphone.
All the best in the exams, eh? Okay. And I do so well, okay? I'll see you. Bye-bye. Okay, so Rosemary has to rush back to class quickly. She has exams coming up in some few minutes. Another part of the MGQ program would help girls like her rise like a phoenix from the ashes. The Wonder Woman session provides mentorship to some of these girls. Here is District Coordinator of the Varkey Foundation, Mahmoud Nantoma, with further explanation about the after-school sessions.
The Wonder Woman program, as I indicated, is an after-school program that supports these girls to learn other extracurricular activities such as issues relative to sexuality, family planning, child rights, child abuse, among other things.
The tendency of a broadened horizon alongside quality and accessible education cannot be overemphasized. This is what this system seeks to provide. An example worth emulating worldwide to improve upon the age-old problem of access to education. Maxwell Agbagba for Joy News.
Great initiative by the Varkey Foundation, and the Varkey Foundation is sponsored by the UK. The daughter of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, Princess Anne, is in Ghana as part of a two-day visit to West Africa. She's currently at the Flagstaff House to meet President Akufo-Addo. They're having their meeting behind closed doors. But we know now that preparation is underway for a wreath-laying ceremony later today, and I'll just run you by that particular itinerary, which we know will be program, which will be attended by the Chief of Defense Staff. We also know that it will be attended by some veterans also. So, and let's just cross over to my colleague Marcel Akbaba, who's currently at the venue. Hello, Maxwell, if you can hear me, what are we expecting from this wreath-laying ceremony today?
Okay, yes, Benes. So as it stands right now, all is set. We're still awaiting the arrival of Her Royal Highness Princess Anne. She's actually at the Flagstaff House at the moment, and in some few minutes she should be, here at the Osu Christianborg Military Cemetery. What will be happening here is just a short ceremony of a wreath laying. It's actually a wreath laying ceremony, and as you rightly mentioned, in attendance would be the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Obed Aqua. He's already here. We also have the Minister of Defense, Mr. Dominic Nitiwo. He's also already here. We also have some officers from the British Marines Commando. They are also present here, making sure that everything it's well in place before the arrival of Her Royal Highness. It's going to be a solemn session. We're going to have some solemn tunes coming from the Armed Forces Central Command. They are positioned somewhere behind me, a bit inside the cemetery itself, where we have the headstones. Present here, we have some members of the Veterans Administration of Ghana. We also have some women achievers in defense. We also have some members of the National Cadet Corps. They will be joining us here on the grounds. And right behind me, the three ladies, the three military personnel who will be the wreath bearers for this occasion, are already strategically positioned with and for the arrival of the princess. So what will happen is that they would hold the wreath and then hand it over to the CDS and then the Minister of Defense, then later on to Princess Anne for them to lay the wreath themselves. After that, she'll be signing a memorial register. That place is positioned right here on my right-hand side. She'll be signing the memorial register, indicating that she visited here on the 4th of April and then paid her respect to the fallen soldiers in the First and then the Second World War. So, Benis, if you come here right now, all is set. We're waiting for the arrival of Princess Anne here, Benis.
Well, thank you very much, Maxwell Agbagba, coming to us from the Christianborg War Cemetery. And we know that this wreath laying ceremony is also to honor the soldiers who died serving Britain and the Commonwealth of Nations during the World War I and II. Stay with us here on Joy News for an extensive coverage of Princess Anne's visit to Ghana. Should also be heading to the Ashanti region, to Kumasi tomorrow, and for some programs there, I'll run you by that. There'll be a mini Durbar with the Asantehene, and she'll visit some other foundations there. So we'll bring you live coverage of her visit to Ghana. It's now time for business with Emmanuel Abuaje. Yafi.